Here we are at Willow Lake in Foston, and we're after Crucian carp again. The hunt for Crucians continues. The noise you can hear in the background is the A1, so it's a bit noisy, but got a tidy little swim. Let's crack on. Morning troops, another day, another lake, and we're here at Willow Lake's fishery in Foston, and of course the target is those ever elusive Crucians. I saw a video on YouTube of a net in here restocking, and I saw some Crucians and they were big, lovely, beautiful looking fish, so I've come along today to see if we can catch some. Judging by the roots on the island and the bare roots on the near bank here, the water's about a foot, maybe a foot and a half down. I'm fishing in about 18 inches of water. There's a hell of a lot of fish down there. I think they're carp. I've had a few tentative bites on corn and chopped worm. When I strike, you see a lot of fish movement, spooking. So I think there's a lot of fish down there. I'm fishing just off the Willow Lake, and I'm fishing just off the Willow, and hopefully we'll get some of these Crucians out today. There's a lot of rules. I'll leave a link to the website down below. There's a lot of rules regarding biodiversity. You can't bring your own net, you can't bring your own mat, you can't even bring your own towels. There's a few bait bans you should be aware of. There's a lot of stuff, so I'll leave it all down in the description for you. Yeah, and the other rule is that once you start fishing on a lake set up, you can't pack up and move on to another lake. So, but this is the lake I wanted to fish. This is the one I've seen the big Crucians in, so I'm going to give it a go. Good go today. I don't want to attract too many carp, so I'm going to be probably, you know, I don't want to be. I want fine, delicate bites from those beautiful little Crucians, not whoosh. So it's going to be a long, hot day, and I'm going to target them all day. We've really got to get some. We've had quite a few Crucian videos on the channel. We ain't nabbed one, so let's see if this place brings us some luck. Thanks very much for tuning in. I hope we show you some lovely, beautiful Crucians. It's a very beautiful setting. It's a lovely little lake. If the water was up a little bit more as its normal level, it'd be perfect, but as I say, at the moment I'm fishing in about 18 inches of water, that's all. Very fine with my pole, so let's crack on, let's see if we can catch some. It's not what we came for, but we've had a few stripies. We've had a few little stripies on the old chopped worm, and now all of a sudden, another one of the rules is you can't fish without a disgorger. I've always got half a dozen in my tackle box, but look at this roach. It's not the Crucians we're after, but that's a beautiful roach. A little bit bigger than I would have weighed it. It is lovely. Gonna get this back. Really pleased with that. So that was chopped worm. Let's get it back. So the proper first fish of the day, I had a few little stripies, and I was thinking, well, that's what pestering me on chopped worm, but no. I changed the rig slightly. What I'd done was I moved my shot up as bulk shot, and I put a telltale shot directly on the bottom. Size 16 hook, telltale shot. So I was getting very delicate bites, and I wanted the pole float to go properly. You know, it was doing all that. There was no distinct movements and bites. And I've put a telltale shot on, so it's overweight virtually. You know, well, it is. So if I was off the deck, the float would sink. I'd have to take that telltale shot off. But that telltale shot is on the deck, 1.5 inches hook length. It gets picked up. As soon as it gets picked up, that float goes under. And that's it's only a small pole float. As I say, look, 2 foot, 18 inches, 2 foot deep, and that was a beautiful roach. Let's crack on. Let's see if we can catch some more. That's whet my appetite. Oh. Ducks have taken a liking to my swim for some reason. Been fishing for about 10-15 minutes with corn on, while I had a cup of coffee and a bit of breakfast. Nothing. Some very tentative bites, but not what you call bites. So I mean, they're taking a great interest. Either just fishing the patrol route, I don't know, because I'm not putting loads of bait in. And another stripey. Oh, it's come off. The chopworm is getting strong. I had that roach, which could be bad news for me, because I'll probably keep going back to chopworm, and I don't really want to be catching those blinking little perch all day. I might just put my float rod on and have a very delicate float for another perch. That's still I'll recycle that worm. Should have brought me prawns with me if there's perch in it. There might be some big perch. You know, these commercial fisheries, the smaller species get ignored and they pile on the weight. You know, people are fishing with pellets and meat and all these high protein stuff for carp. The roach, the rudd, the perch, they all hoover that bait that's going in up, and they're not fished for, so they're piling on the weight. There's no predators in here. There's no predators like pike in here, so you know there's perch. But once a roach or a rudd gets to a certain size, they're on Crucians, they're not going to be pestered by the. So they're nicking the chopworm all the time. So I'm going to go back to. I might put a pellet on actually. See how that goes. Well, we got what we came for. Because I was telling you earlier about the biodiversity, so I'm going to have to weigh it in the net and then take the weight of the net off. But got our first bar of gold of the session and I'm really dead chuffed. Look at that for a Crucian. Beautiful little Crucian there. I'm going to weigh it just to see what that goes, and then we'll see how big we can get them. But absolutely beautiful Crucian, really is. Let's get it weighed, get it back, crack on. £1.12 with a net. I'm just going to put this beautiful fish back, see how much the net weighs, and then we'll crack on. Oh my days, that's what we came for, a bar of gold. That was on the chopped worm and corn cocktail. Very delicate bite, as you'd expect from a Crucian. When I bent into it with the pole, I did think it was another small carp, but no. So £1.1, we're off the mark. Had a beautiful roach, now we've had a beautiful Crucian. Let's crack on. That's the only problem with fishing for Crucians, where there's a lot of carp as well. Second one of the session is a little common, lively as hell. Again, worm and corn cocktail. It's not the Crucian we're after. I can't disturb swim too much, but thought it's worth showing you. That's where we've been. Let's get it back. See if we can catch them Crucians. I sort of like clarify what I said earlier with about the rig, because it's so shallow. If you've got carp, and there's a lot of fish down there, you've got carp moving either side of your rig. The floater's moving around quite a lot. And with that telltale shot on there, it's pinned to the deck. So really, the only time it's going to go under or move is if you've got a bite. That's what it's there for, essentially, to differentiate between the movement of the fish going around your rig and an actual bite. And it does work quite well, because it still moves a bit, but there's no denying, every time you get a bite it just sails away. So let's see if we can get that sail away for a few more bars of gold. Oh, we've got a proper roach now. I'm going to weigh it. I just wanted to show you for a proper roach. Worm and corn cocktail. What a beautiful fish. Going to give that a weigh, see how big it is, and then we'll get her back. I love catching fish like this. Not the Crucian we're after, but I could catch them all day. Well, it's going to look like a good mixed bag today. Nice little bream on the float, on the pole. Obviously still fishing for Crucians, but I'll take that any day of the week. The sun's right behind me now, so I'm going to have to move my unhooking station and camera around, but another one falls to the cocktail, but it's not what I'm after. Lively mirror, but it's not the Crucian we want. There it goes. Run me a merry dance on the pole, but fish is a fish. We'll get it back and then we'll crack on, see if we can catch some more of these roach and Crucians. the cameras have got too hot. So they're not recording anymore. But I've had loads of these bream there. They're great little fish. Great action on the pole. Big rubber lips. Get it back. Yeah, all the cameras, it's just too hot now. Sunshine. It's 6 o'clock in the evening, but I can't get any shade now. The ground's too dry and hard to put an umbrella in for shade. So obviously trophy shots only now, I'm afraid. Hopefully we'll have a few Crucians before I pack up at 7. We've had a load of fish, really good quality bream, roach, Crucians, perch. Not quality perch, we've had loads of perch, but not. And it's been a pleasure. Changed the hook 3 times today. You know, after a while, start bumping fish, get a new sharp hook on. And other than that, it's been a hassle-free day. You know, absolutely everything's gone to plan really, apart from the carp moving in and bullying the other fish out. Other than that, it's been all right. Moaning about catching carp, but I don't like little carp. If I'm fishing for silvers, I want silvers, you know. But when I'm fishing for Crucians, I want Crucians. I've only had one today, but it was a cracker. Let's crack on. Last hour. Well, troops, sorry there wasn't too much filming action. I don't normally do summing up in the car either, but due to the heat, the cameras were overheating. They just wouldn't record. So hope you got the essence of what happened today. We had about a dozen bream, up to £3. We had about a dozen carp, all in the the £2 to £5 bracket. We had 2 cracking roach over £1. We also had a Crucian just under £2, one just over £1. So you know, we've had a good day. Loads of perch, only small ones though. But very good fishery. I fished Willow Lake. Next time I shall fish the Sycamore Lake, the Silvers Lake, because you get a swim going and then them carp come in and bully everything else out. At one point the swim was like a washing machine. It was turbulence everywhere. The carp really got their heads down on my loose feed. You can't ground bait unless you cup it in or using a feeder. So I was just trickling in 10 to 20 pieces of mixed particle every now and then, little and often. And sure enough, the swim throughout the day built up, and about 5 o'clock it was fizzing. I mean, absolute fizzing. I hope I got some footage, because every time I went to check my camera it was switched off, too hot. So yeah, cracking fishery. I'll be back. The only downside was there was a little bit of discarded tackle in my swim, which I didn't like, but that happens everywhere. You can't blame the fishery owners for the way people behave. So we're done. Now it's time to go home. Thanks for watching, troops. I really do appreciate it. Today's fishing for pleasure came from Willow Lake Fisheries in Lincolnshire, and we had a cracking day. And let's get off home. Thanks for watching, troops, and I'll see you on the bank real soon.